I'm going to show you how I went from space to face. Hey, my name is Mukesh. I've worked at Universal Pictures and Apple MGM Writers Room, and I've even sold a screenplay. But before that, I had a whole career in tech. Now I take tech principles and apply them to filmmaking. And I'm going to show you how something called rapid prototyping helped me pull this film off.
How you doing?
This is what rapid prototyping is. You build something fast, doesn't matter if it's janky, so long as it works. You release it and you test it. And based on the audience's feedback, you'll know what you have to fix. So that's what I did. I shot something fast and I got it out there and I tested it. And based on the feedback, I knew I had something.
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
I thought I would start with just 4 shots. The universe at large, then you'd push it on the universe into a spaceship, then you'd push it on the window of the spaceship and you'd see me, and then you'd push it on me and I would come alive. It's alive! We're going to use a technique called stitching, where you stitch together real footage with AI footage. In order to do that, you have to shoot the real footage first. So the real footage was of me waking up in bed, so here's how I shot it. Now, since I was shooting this alone, I had to set the shot up myself. Quick change of costume, and then there I am. I put the camera down, put the camera above me. I actually shot it upside down, and I shot it backwards because I knew I would reverse the footage to give me an eerie look. Now keep in mind, this is just one time. I think I had to shoot it about 20 to 25 times to get the right shot, the right angle, the right frame. But eventually I got it. And this was the shot not color corrected. And this was the color corrected shot that I took as the first frame. Now we're going to need that because we're going to pull that frame into Kling. Now it took me many times on Kling to figure this out, but eventually I got it right. You have to use the first frame, last frame feature in video transformation under Kling, but you have to make sure the dimensions are correct. If you notice, since the dimension of me in the bed does not match the dimension of the spaceship, it turned out weird. I finally got it where I was able to zoom out in the correct dimensions. The room wasn't exactly like I wanted, but it was close. And if you notice, I used the first frame, last frame here. You dolly out through the window. And then after a bunch of more attempts to get the perspective right and the ratio correct, I finally was able to get this image. And with Gemini, I was able to take that starting image and insert it onto the ship. Now if you notice, I used the same language here, dollying through the windows. And it dollies right onto the frame of my footage. So in order to do it, first you have to shoot your footage, and then you grab the frame. And you grab that last frame and put it into an AI like Kling. And with Kling, you prompt from the first frame and you back out to the window. And you might need that second shot, and oftentimes I created those second shots in Gemini. Then you back out from the window to the spaceship. Then you back out from the spaceship to outer space. Now it's important you take these steps because the geometry is something that Kling and these AI models take into account. So if the spatial reasoning is off, it creates its own spatial reasoning that oftentimes is not correct because it's trying to put logic together when there is no logic. So it's really important to map out your shots and plan each one so that it can push in according to the space in your frame. Okay, here we go. We're in Kling now, and let me just show you what I did. So I started with this image of a spaceship, which I generated in Gemini. And the first prompt was, you zoom out quickly from the spaceship to the stars. So this will actually be the starting frame, and I'll reverse the clip. Then the next one, I think, is actually, let's see, I think it's this one. Now I go from the spaceship further into the spaceship. I focused on this window here. So dolly in from the spaceship in image 1 to the first port side module on the front facing window in image 2. So I actually had created this image in Gemini. And so I was able to stitch these two together, first frame, last frame in Kling. And then from there, I picked it up there and I was able to create that first frame, this first frame from Gemini, And I had this first frame that I also created in Gemini of me sleeping inside. So I stitched those two together. And then the final shot is that frame from Gemini with the first frame of my footage right there. And then in Adobe or DaVinci Resolve, you stitch them together and color correct them to create the whole shot.
Yes, science!
And if you like this content, please give me a like and follow. I'm making this film on my own, and I would love to have people watch it. I'm so excited to share it with you, and I love sharing how I make this stuff. Don't want to gatekeep. So please follow along on the journey by liking and subscribing. Thanks. See you next time.